I am very excited to make this video because this may be the last overheating video, camera overheating video that you will ever have to watch. If you have the R6, the R5, the R6 Mark II, I was able to record indefinitely on my R6 Mark I. Stay tuned to find out how. So I've wanted to make this video for a long time, and actually I made an overheating video a few months ago, and in the comments people were like, why didn't you do an overheating test? What's wrong? But in this video I decided to take the time, overheat my cameras, which, you know what, I've had the R6 for like 3 years and I just never got around to it, and I figure people don't either. People don't, start recording and see when it overheats and do all the testing. So I did it for you, so you don't have to do it. You're very welcome. For the test, I did a very scientific test.
For this test, I did a very scientific test.
I kept all the variables the same, all the settings the same between both cameras, and both are R6 cameras. You'll be able to see in the B-roll here. This is one of the R6s that I used, and this is the other one. What I was curious about before making this video was, you know what, will it actually not overheat if I use an external charger and an external recorder? So I used the Ninja 5 and I recorded externally to another drive, and then I powered the camera via AC. And then the other camera, I just used a battery and recorded straight to the camera. The first test I did, both cameras started recording at the same time. You can see, I'll show the timer on the screen and everything so you can see. Both were recording at 24 frames per second, 50 shutter. I recorded in C-Log 3, so that affects battery life for sure. And the screens, I turned off the automatic screen off function, so the screens were on at all times. The first hiccup was at the 30-minute mark because the camera that wasn't recording externally stopped recording because of the 30-minute time limit. But I paid attention to that. I was aware of that, so I continued recording as soon as it stopped recording. So both cameras were kind of recording the whole time. The camera that was recording internally, as soon as it reached the 30-minute time limit, as soon as it reached the 30-minute time limit, it gave me a warning. As soon as that happened, I put this little fan on so it would keep recording and see if the temperature came down. I'll get to that in a moment. That was what I was most impressed by. But I left it on and it didn't turn off or anything, but the warning was still flashing. Now, the camera that was recording externally, 6 minutes after the 30-minute, so like 36 minutes, it got the warning. I was wrong. I thought that if I recorded externally and with an external power source, then it would last a lot more. But actually, it only gave it 6 minutes. So that is not a solution. Definitely not a solution for filming like a conference, or a commercial gig that you have to, or a long interviews. You can't do it. You just can't do it with the R6 like that. Here is where I started getting amazed, right? As soon as I put this little fan on the camera that was recording internally, as soon as it got to like 32 degrees Celsius, it just dropped 1 degree down, 31. And then it started going up and down, 32, 31, 32, 31. And I just left it on for a while. You can see here on the screen the timer that I had on my iPhone. It went to 1 hour, then it went to 1 hour 30, then it went to 2 hours, and I was like, what's going on? So whatever, I just left it there, went to get coffee and all that. When I came back, 2 hours, the temperature came down and the warning stopped displaying. So this is amazing news. I was like, wow, so no overheating problems anymore at 24 frames at least with this little fan. Okay, guess how much this fan costs? You can go to Yolance, it's like 25 bucks, maybe 30 at the most. Okay, so that's a $30 fix for your overheating problem. All right, you need to get this little fan. I'm not sponsored by them. I just got it because I needed an overheating fix. And this definitely does it. I do want to mention that there's a battery on this, right? So as soon as it reached like 1 bar and it was about to shut off, because it lasts about an hour, then I plugged it in directly to the power and it just started charging and cooling down at the same time. So if you are recording a conference, for example, you can use the battery, for 1 hour and then plug it in, or just leave it plugged in the whole time, and your camera will not overheat at 24 frames per second, 4K. I don't know why am I so excited about this?
I'm so excited about this,
This is very important because, as you know, if you're a professional and you're shooting a conference and the camera overheats at 30 minutes, you're done. No good, right? That's why people hate on the R6 so much. But this little fan changes that. You can leave the camera at 4K 24. I mean, if you're recording a 3-hour conference at 4K, you can do it now with this little fan. Isn't that cool? I would say that the R6 is the camera that overheats the most out of all of them. Not anything below the R6, but the R6, R6 Mark II, the R5, they all overheat. I was so pleasantly surprised when I saw the timer and it was 3 hours, more than 3 hours, no overheating warning. That means that your R6 Mark I can record indefinitely. And if you have an external recorder, you won't have a time limit, a recording time limit. So now you have no overheating issues and you have no 30-minute limit. I just fixed your R6. You're welcome. Let me check here because I made some notes as I did the test. I spent all day doing this, all right? So please give me a little like. Subscribe if you like this. If I helped you at all, I hope I helped you. As you can see here, I made some notes, not too much, but as you can see at the top, the R6 plane, which was just the camera recording internally, overheated at 30 minutes, right? Then I added a fan, and for 30 extra minutes, it was okay. And the fan battery was at 2 bars left. That's when I plugged it in. And then I just left it running and, stopping and starting recording for 3 hours. After that, I was like, all right, this is going to be indefinite because it's not even showing a warning, an overheating warning. So that was awesome. All right, next, for the other one, the one that was recording externally, as soon as it displayed the warning, I just shut it off because, okay, 36 minutes. That's about all you're going to get if you're recording externally and also powering the camera externally. I was surprised. I thought I would get like at least an hour in 24 frames, but granted, I was recording in C-Log 3. So I guess if you don't record in log, it won't overheat as fast, but then that defeats the purpose of having this camera. You want to maximize the range, the dynamic range of this camera. You want to be able to use all the features. So I put it in C-Log 3 for those of us that want to get the best quality, which is the way I work. I like to get the best quality out of my camera, out of my footage. It's just a win-win for everybody. Let's move on to 60 frames per second. I also wanted to test this out. It's very important, even more so for R6 Mark II owners, because maybe 24 frames, it won't overheat. But then when you reach 60 frames, you're going to have some overheating issues, especially if you're outside and all that. You know about this. So what I did this time, because the fan worked so well on the 24 frames test, I placed the fan on the cold camera to test out the overheating issue at 60 frames per second. Again, C-Log 3. Unfortunately, it only lasted 23 minutes until it shut off completely. And it said, camera overheated, it's over. That sucks. So that's what you can expect from the R6 Mark I if you are using the fan. 23 minutes of continuous 60 frame per second footage. Of course, as you know, we don't record for long periods of time at 60. I've had the Canon R6 for about 3 years, and at first I experienced a lot of overheating issues because I wasn't stopping my recording. I was just recording like crazy, and that overheats the camera. But then I learned to pace myself, to plan the shots well. And as soon as I knew I had the shot that I wanted, I press the record button and I take the shot, and then I immediately stop the recording. And if I need more time to plan the next shot, I turn off the camera. So if you do that, you won't get any overheating issues. All right. But if you're going to be at a big event and you're going to be shooting a lot of B-roll at 60 frames, then the fan is going to help you out a lot. And if you are pausing the clips, if you're just taking a little clip, ending the recording, turning the camera off, and the fan is going, I doubt you're going to get a overheating warning. I'm going to buy more of these fans. I'm going to place the link in my description so you can check it out. Before, I had the previous version, which had suction cups, and that was terrible. I went to a conference and I was recording, and the suction cups failed and the fan just fell off. So I was, trying to act all professional, have all this cool gear, and all of a sudden my camera starts breaking apart, the fan falls down. Yeah, that wasn't good. So I was very disappointed with that. I was so disappointed that I cut off the suction cups and I tried to do a Velcro solution, but that didn't work either because the screen wouldn't close good all the way. So I still have the fans there and they're doing nothing. They're just, I just use them when I'm hot. But this new version of the fan is perfect. this is the version to get because it has a spring that attaches to the back of your camera, as you can see here in the footage, and it holds in place and it's perfect. Did I fix your overheating issue? If you want to see more videos like this, more tips, make sure to hit subscribe and see you next time. One more thing. As I was making this video, I kind of got the urge to upgrade one of my R6s. Nothing's wrong with them. I fixed the overheating issue and, I basically fixed everything about them, but I just got the urge to get the R6 Mark II. So I will be selling my R6. So if you don't have an R6 like the Canon EOS R and you want to upgrade to the R6, or if you already have R6 and you need another one, I will be selling this one for lower than used price on Adorama, for example. They're going now for about 1,500 or maybe 1,400, and I'll be selling it through my website at 1,200, and I will have all the details there. I even got the shutter count there. I've got everything. As you can see, let me do a little review for you here on video so you can see. It has a little bump right there. I don't know if you can see that. Barely noticeable. I was shooting one day and my assistant was carrying one of the big tripods and bumped into it, and it got a little bump there. That's one thing. It's definitely used, so if you see the back of the screen, there's some scratches there on the outside, but on the inside is perfectly good, as you can see. Can you see that? Anyway, so if you're interested in it and you want to get it for a discount, just head over to the website. I'll put the link in the description, and you can buy it there. And if you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Thank you.